now we go back to my exciting morning with the hurricane hunters.
This is Chief Meteorologist Warren Madden. He's in command of quite a number of systems here. What are you doing over here? Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing and what you're discovering.
Well, I'm the weather officer on board, and my job is to gather the information from the various weather systems that we have, and I'm in communication with the National Hurricane Center via a satellite communications link. It's effectively instant chat. And today we've been out trying to find Tropical Storm Maria, and it's been a fairly interesting flight, but not a very productive one so far in some senses, in that we have not yet found a real good closed circulation. And that is one of the things that the Hurricane Center has been wanting us to discover, is whether or not it still existed. So sometimes you learn as much by what you don't find as what you do find. So right now what we're doing is we're heading back out to the outer periphery of the storm area and going to try and cruise around a bit and again try to locate where the winds are lining up to form that closed circulation. Now, we may not find that today, so we're feeding all this information back to the Hurricane Center, and that will be going into the forecasters' knowledge base in conjunction with all the satellites and the computer modelings, and that will impact, of course, what they put out in terms of what the strength of the storm is and where it's going, and also what warnings or watches may be necessitated for the islands that are here just to our west.
So, looking at the data you've discovered today, do you think we've got a possibility of this gearing up into a hurricane or something stronger?
We're not in the prediction business. We're purely data collection. So, what we see right now is that this thing has, weakened from having a closed structure to an open structure. But again, down in the future, there are so many factors that can play into whether it will actually be able to reorganize and get stronger again. So that is something, we're one piece of the puzzle providing the data to the Hurricane Center, but they're the ones that have the whole picture, and they're the ones that are in the best position to make that call over whether it will continue to weaken or could strengthen again.
Well, with all the data collection, has there been any interesting discoveries about this storm that maybe you haven't seen before this season or in the history of your time as a hurricane hunter?
Not particularly in this storm. You get this type of mission where you have a storm that isn't very well organized is always a bit of a frustrating one, because going out and finding a hurricane that's there, I mean, you see it on the radar, it's easy. But, you go out each time to try and learn a bit more. And I've been doing this now for about a dozen years, and there's always something new to learn and something new to see with what's going on in the atmosphere. And one of the things that I was seeing today, I've not flown for several years in a storm of this sort, and just what big effect being close to the thunderstorms that are out here can have on the overall wind field. When you're trying to find that closed circulation, sometimes the thunderstorms will disrupt the wind field, and you'll be chasing your tail at some points, and you have to be wary of that. And it's easy to get off in the wrong direction if you're not careful about it. So there's always something new to learn. Nature is a fascinating thing, and that's one of the reasons that I like to come out here, is because there is so much to see and to learn.
Okay, we're getting very close to Tropical Storm Maria now. We've been ordered to actually buckle ourselves in. We'd like to get up and maybe get some great shots of what's happening outside, but at this time that's considered impossible. We're belted in right now, and we're getting closer and closer to the storm. We've been informed that in many situations in a smaller storm, it's actually harder and rougher on the crew of a plane such as this investigating it. And when you get to a bigger storm, they have to fly in areas where they are moving around it. It's actually a much smoother ride. So we've been informed we're in for a bumpy ride here, because it is a tropical storm, a lower base storm, and not a hurricane yet. And let's hope it doesn't become a hurricane. We're getting closer and closer to Maria now, and we'll keep you posted. Yes, it has been an exciting morning, and I want to thank all the guys that allowed us to go on board the Hurricane Hunters aircraft this afternoon and get an up-close look at what's happening with Maria. Now we're going to take a final look at what's happening with Maria as we check in at San Juan, Puerto Rico's Ernesto Morales. He's giving us an update on the Maria situation.
Good evening. The location for the National Weather Service Center in Miami has located the system at 14.8 north, 58.6 west. The system has a maximum wind speed of 45 miles per hour, and at the moment the system is moving northwest at 60 miles per hour. The center pressure of the system is 1,004 millibars. The rain bands from Maria will start moving across the left Antilles during this evening and become more frequent for us over the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. We're going to start seeing the rain bands starting to come in through the regional waters and the islands early morning hours. But as the day goes by, these rain bands are going to become more frequent, and the intensity of these wind bands are going to be stronger as the day goes by. The closest moment to St. Croix and the Virgin Islands, it will be around maybe like around 11 p.m. Between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. It's going to be very close to the regional waters and the islands.
This weather forecast brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Thank Ernesto Morales for giving us that update, as well as everyone hard at work over there at the National Weather Service in Puerto Rico. They're giving us updates, and we will be bringing you updates over the course of the weekend as Maria comes into and visits the Virgin Islands. Stay with us on WSVI. We will keep you posted. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Remember, there is a 7 p.m. curfew starting tomorrow night, and keep your ear close right here to WSVI Channel 8 as we bring you more updates on the system coming to us. Have a great weekend.
Styling services provided to Mr. Aegean by Under the Palms Hair Salon in Gallows Bay. St. Croix's premier hair and nail salon is Under the Palms.